2, 1. What's up, YouTube? Stonebraker Does Stuff here, and I'm actually coming at you from my bedroom. Had issues with the audio at this part, and I had issues with the audio with the second part. But this was Thursday, April 18th, 2024. What we're doing today, I'm on the Vitamin. I'm pointing at it. I don't know what I'm doing there. But I'm in the house of God next to a church, so good start to a video. I've had people ask me, hey, you've got 4 e-bikes. Which is your favorite? And I got to thinking, you know, I like this one, I like that one, I don't like this about that. All right, you see there, I'm saying 4. So I thought, let me make a video. Let me ride all 4 bikes. I've got 5 categories that I think kind of connect to e-bikes. And let's ride each bike and let's rate them on a scale from 1 to 10. Very professional, but let's get started on the Vitamin and then add them up. On the scale of 1 to 10, I mean, that's 3rd grade math, right? So we're gonna start off with the Vitamin U7. We're gonna go ahead and take it around the block a little bit here. I'm at the point with all my bikes. I apologize, a lawnmower dude. Let me explain it a little bit. There's 5 categories that I'm gonna be judging my e-bikes on. All 5 pretty common categories. We're going to be judging them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the best. But I will say, I would not expect to see any 10s because to me, for a category in an e-bike to be a 10, it has to be absolutely perfect. And I don't feel like any e-bike is perfect, at least the ones I have. So first thing we're going to start off with is the looks of the e-bike. You know, the wow factor. When you first see it, do you think, okay, that is a badass e-bike? Or do you look at it and you think, okay, that looks like a regular bike with a battery. It's boring, I don't like it. So with the Vitamin U7, color-wise, nice watermelon red, pink color. Very low step through, and I'm judging these also based off of no accessories. So I'm not factoring in the mirrors I have and how the mirrors make it look. But I will factor in the baskets on the Vitamin. So between everything like that, as far as a wow factor and the collar, I would give it a solid 7. I think that's a fair assessment. Again, I'm probably a little harsher critic than most because I don't think we're going to have any 10s. So to be a 10 in most people's world is probably a 9 in mine. So solid 7. The next category that I have listed in my little cheat sheet on my phone here is price. So without telling you exact dollar amounts, what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor in, okay, this is what I paid for it. For this price, what did I get? Do I feel like everything was in line with it? Do I feel like I should have paid less for it? Do I feel like I overpaid for it? So for the Vitamin, this is the newest bike. All my bikes besides this one, I have between 100 and probably 175 miles on them. This one has 75.2. So I've still had quite enough time and miles on it, and this goddamn lawnmower again. So I've had plenty of time to make a determination, and I feel like on price, I would also give it a 7. I'm kind of torn on that number because I feel like without the accessories, I know I said I wasn't gonna factor in that, but I did have to buy the baskets separate. I did also have to buy a Zoom seat post. So 7 on that too. And now for features. Features, I mean, what all do you get in that price that you've paid? Do you feel like you're loaded with features? Do you feel like you're missing features? This bike has hydraulic brakes. It's got a 750 watt motor. It's got the 7-speed Shimano shifter. It's got cruise control, and it's also got some turn signals built in. So that's a little bit of an added accessory. So for the features, I also believe it's a 16 amp hour battery, maybe 16.5, I don't know off the top of my head. But feature wise, oh, it also comes with a drink carrier, which kind of surprised me because I didn't expect to get something like that. I would give it another 7. So we're rolling with the 7s on the Vitolen U7. Aww. And it was at this moment in editing where I realized I forgot to do comfort. We're going to give it a 7.5. The Vitolen U7 is a comfortable bike. 20-inch, 4-inch wide fat tires. The cockpit's a little small, so you're not stretching too bad. The seat is just the right angle. Pedals are good. Comfort's a little above average, so we're going to give it a 7.5 for the Vitolen. It's one of those bikes that at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I like it. I'm not comfortable. Once I got my riding position down, once I had all my seat, perfect spot, I had my handlebars where I wanted them, I had everything, wasn't too bad. The grips, so-so, you know, the hands don't really get sore or anything, but we're gonna give it that 7.5. Now that I was able to edit this in, let's get back to this exciting video. Next category is miscellaneous. So what I mean by miscellaneous is things that really you wouldn't see on a website when you're describing the features. So miscellaneous is things like how tough or how easy was it to put together? How did it come boxed? Is it loud? Is it, you know, constantly slipping gears? Anything like that? Like my hog? You like my hog? But basically everything like that. Anything that you can factor in with the bike that is not on a website or any place like that. Noise, how loud are the tires? Do they have knobby tires? Do the tires stay aired up? Stuff like that. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 on features. So we've gone over the looks of it. We've gone over comfort. Did we go over comfort? I can't even remember if we went over comfort. I think we did, yeah. Price, features, looks, comfort, and miscellaneous. So overall, we'll add up those numbers. I have a feeling it's probably going to be about the same on most of these bikes I talk about. But it's a good bike. Still breaking it in, just under 76 miles. But yeah, that's the Vitolen U7. We'll go ahead and start the next one. So on the next video, we'll go ahead and get on the Ingu E26. That one has the most miles. You know, if people were to ask me and put a gun to my head and say, hey, you need to choose your favorite, before all this, I would have probably said that, but who knows what's gonna turn out. So I'll go park this baby back home and then we'll be on the Ingu E26 when we get back. All right, now as promised, we are now on the Ingu E26. And first thing I'm noticing is a little bit of a reach. So when I get on the 20-inch bikes, my body is used to not quite as long as a reach. So that's the first thing that, you know, it takes me a few minutes to get used to having to reach a little bit on the Ingu. But the Ingu, 151 miles. It's definitely got the most miles on it so far of my bikes. So when it comes to comfort, first category, comfort on the Ingu, it is a little bit of a stretch. Also, the hand rests are rubber. I don't like them as much as I like the hand rests on the other bikes that have that fake leather feel. Seat and everything is a Cloud9, so it's all the same. Seems to be an accident or something going on there. Don't know what happened. A fire? I'm not sure. Anyways, comfort. We'll give it a 7 as well. So price, I think, is probably going to be a little bit higher than the Vitolen. This was roughly the same price as the Vitolin with the coupon I had. The Vitolin was more expensive though when I added on the baskets and stuff, but this basically was about the same price as the Vitolin, and I feel like you're getting 26-inch fat tires. These are hydraulic brakes as well, I believe. You're still getting that 7-speed Shimano and everything. But I think, yeah, for price, I definitely would go a little higher. For the first time, I'm gonna go above something in a 7. I'm gonna go with an 8 for the Ingu for price. A solid 8. And then features. So it's got the hydraulic brakes, it's got the front fork, unlockable, 7-speed Shimano. I think it's a 16.5 amp hour battery. And to be honest with you, I could be wrong with that, but you know, the pedals are decent too. Yeah, it's got the adjustable stem so you can move it a little bit. Comes with fenders, just a lot of really good features for the price. So for features, I'm also gonna give it an 8 for features. And then for miscellaneous, again, miscellaneous is just things about the bike that you're not gonna read on a website. You may see on YouTube reviews and stuff like that, but miscellaneous, I'm gonna give it a 7. The bike, I did have issues with the front tire. I just couldn't get it to go on right. It was always rubbing. Had to take it to a shop, have them do it. The brakes were a little funky when I first got it, so the bike shop had to mess with the brakes a little bit. And then I did have a little bit of a squeaking noise as well with the front tire, a little bit of a tick, tick, tick noise. Now, some of those could have been me, 100%. If someone else would have got this, maybe they would have not had any issues with it. But on my experience, between the issues with the front tire, customer service for Ingu seems to be pretty good. It is one of those email them in China, wait 24 hours for a response type of deals. It has a really nice headlight though. So overall, I'm pretty confident for the miscellaneous altogether, giving it a 7. So, and then look, I don't know if I went over looks. This is very difficult for me to do because I don't know what I went over. But just in case I forgot, looks, I know we did. Comfort, we did. Price, we did. Features, miscellaneous. So yeah. So we'll go ahead and add up all those numbers. We'll put everything right there. What we did, yada, yada, yada. No! Would you look at that? Second time in this video, I done and goofed up. Looks, wow factor. How can you rate this anything other than a 9? Bright yellow, striking black. Everything about this wants attention. It's like a bumblebee. It's like a banana. It's just an awesome looking e-bike that's going to get a lot of attention. Got to give it a 9. Nothing else will do. All right, so that's going to be it for today. We will be back out tomorrow on the 2 remaining bikes. The Mach Wheel Tour Plus and the eBIKES X7. So it'll be interesting to finish this video, get it edited together, and add up all the numbers, and then see if I agree. But hey, if we're going by basic math, you would think that whatever bike comes out with the highest score would be my favorite bike. So, all right, guys, this is it for me today. It's not going to be it for the video. We'll go ahead and go to tomorrow right now. And bam. All right, amazing how technology is, right? This was just a few seconds for you guys. It's 24 hours later for me. I'm on the eBIKES X7, 20-inch folding e-bike, 130 miles on it. This is the first brand new e-bike that I ever bought. Bought this back in September. So let's go ahead and get on it. And we will see what we have in store for this video. All right, so it's the next day. We're gonna continue on with my well-known, very detailed ranking system on these bikes. So I went back last night and I edited yesterday's video, and you're gonna see it. Obviously you would have seen it already, but I completely forgot to mention some of the categories. I have a feeling I'm probably gonna do that right now, actually. Tells you how professional I am on this channel. But we're gonna start with the eBIKES X5. First category is the looks wow factor. So I would probably give this, and I'm basing it off of, if someone was to see it, I would probably give it a 6.5. So in my opinion, it looks like any other regular 20-inch folding e-bike. I'm not a fan of the green, I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's like an army green. You would have seen that at the beginning of the video. It's better than black. I would have preferred if they would have had some different colors. I think there was this, black, and then like a dark red, if I recall. I would have liked to see some brighter colors, you know, a yellow, a white. I think a white would have really impacted it. But then it's just got the regular tires that you typically see. It's got the same fork, it's got the same, you know, giraffe style stem and handlebars. The LED screen is just a little thick looking thing. We're gonna call it the features. So for features, I would give this bike a 7.5. It's got dual suspension, it's got the suspension at the front, and it's got a little suspension in the back. I really like the leather, the fake leather on the grips, really comfortable. The bike overall is you know, relatively comfortable as well. It's got, I believe, a 17.5 amp hour battery. I can't even remember. It's got the hydraulic disc brakes, which are always nice. It's got a 1,000 watt motor, so I think this is probably my actual most powerful bike that I have. And it's got the 8-speed transmission, so it's not the 7-speed, it's the 8-speed. I don't know what brand it is. And then it's just got the kind of the standard tires that you would see on the 4-inch wide e-bikes. You know, I probably a little harsh on that considering it's got better brakes and stuff. It's got really good brakes. So, but we're gonna leave it at that. So now we're gonna go into comfort, and I think this is where this bike really shines. I'm basing it off of my experience with what I have. This bike to me is really comfy. I've talked about the grips are really great. It's a 20-inch bike, so you're more impact, like you're a little close up to it. I don't feel like I'm reaching out at all like I do on some of the other bikes. I could probably ride this bike the most miles and, you know, not have really any soreness, not have a sore arm or sore back or anything like that. It's just a really great position bike. Of course, the forks, suspension in the front, being able to lock and unlock helps as well. But I've got to give this, for comfortability, comfy, I got to give it an 8. So really great features on this. We're going to give it an 8. Price. I'm just going to throw this out there. This was my most expensive e-bike. I even bought it with a $100 discount. So still my most expensive e-bike. Man, I mean, you're getting a little bit of a bigger battery than my other eBIKES. You're getting the 8-speed shifter instead of the 7-speed Shimano. You're getting the hydraulic disc brakes, and you're getting that dual suspension I was telling you about. But was it worth what I paid for it? I would probably say no. I don't think it's far off from what I paid for it. If I didn't have the $100 coupon, I definitely don't think it would be worth what I paid for it. If this bike was about $150 less, then I definitely would think it was. So as far as price and what you're getting, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 as well. And then the final, I wanna say the final countdown because that song's stuck in my head right now. First off, before we get into the video, I wanna say that I have a severe headache and I am out here recording this for the love of everybody watching this. So go ahead and leave a comment or leave a thumbs up because I'm risking my head busting in half any moment now. to record this, and it's also back to being chilly. We're in the 50s again, so I do this all for you. And I do it about a C. I'm about a C- YouTuber right now. I make mistakes. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time, so I give myself a C- on my YouTube abilities, but I do it for you guys. In the final category, the miscellaneous. So, miscellaneous, I'm probably gonna give this a 6. I'm gonna give this a 6.5 as well. Not really difficult to put together. Basically, just had to put the front tire on. I did have issues with the brakes with this one as well, and now they're fixed now, and the brakes are really good. But you know, you buy it and you hope that you spend so much money on something like that that it's going to work properly 100% out of the box, and that wasn't the case on this one. It's kind of loud too. I know a lot of e-bikes are loud, but this one seems to be a little bit louder than some of the other ones. That kind of drops it down a little bit, but I think this bike has more torque. I don't know if it was 90 Newton meters. I can't remember what it was, but this thing can climb hills. It's got a lot of get up and go, so that is a positive on it. And I just kind of factor everything, how loud it is, the color of it, and just stuff like that. It's 6.5. Where it's going to rank, we'll just have to find out. We have one more bike. Let's go ahead and get to it. Hey. All right, and here's the fourth and final bike. Mach Wheel Tour Plus. Let you guys get a look at it. Isn't she beautiful? Reminds me of like a submarine or a torpedo just swimming through the roads. So this is the Mach Wheel. Take a look at it. Let's go ahead and get on it, and we'll continue with my very well thought out YouTube video. All right, so Mach Wheel Tour Plus. All right, so first thing we can talk about on the Mach Wheel is the wow factor and the looks. So when you see this bike very first time, you're gonna be blown away by how big it is. This is the Hulk Hogan of e-bikes. You know, Hulk Hogan had 24-inch pythons. The Mach Wheel Tour Plus has 26-inch wheels, so it's got the Hulkster beat by 2 inches, and it reminds me of a torpedo or a submarine. Don't ask me why, but it reminds me of that so much. So wow factor looks, it's a nice, like a they call it gunmetal. It's like a gunmetal gray. I have to go with an 8.5. It's really eye-catching. I think anybody that sees it, it's one of the bikes that you're gonna look at it and you're instantly gonna want to know more about it, which we're gonna go with comfort. I know I'm probably doing these out of order. That's my life. That's how I live my life, out of order. So for comfort, it is a big bike. Me personally, I'm not a very tall guy. I'm like 5'8". You know, if I'm feeling brave and strong, I might be 5'9" on a very good day. And it's a big bike, and it is a little bit difficult because I do not have the step through. I've got the bar at the top. So it is a little difficult sometimes to get on it. It's not terribly difficult. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't think I'd be able to get on it. But for somebody my height, you know, that drops it down a little bit for comfort. But when you get on the bike, it's very comfortable. It's got the same leather grips that the Ehor X7 has. So very comfortable. Never had an issue with my hands getting worn out or my wrist hurting. You are leaning over a little bit, but not near as much as on the Ingu. And it's just a really comfortable ride. So comfort, I'm gonna give it, let's go with a 7. I feel like that's a pretty fair number, you know, factoring in some of the negative things and the positives. So comfort on this bike, 7 is a great number. And now for the features. So this bike features, and hopefully I'm getting this right, the worst brakes I have ever had in my life. I'm talking about being 7 years old and having a Huffy bike that my mom bought off of an old guy down the road for like $7. I'm pretty sure the brakes on that were better than this. With that being said, I'm pretty confident in saying that, as well, you can hear them right there. I'm pretty confident in saying that it's probably an easy fix and I could probably fix it and it would be good. But I'm basing this off of me. I'm basing it off of my experience. The brakes, terrible. I believe the battery, and I'm gonna butcher this. I probably need to fix it in editing so I get the right number, but I think it's a 17.5 amp hour battery. I know it's above 15, I think it's below 19, but it's a really good sized battery, not terrible. You get the front suspension with the fork just like the other bikes. Features, I'm gonna give a 7. Nice solid 7. I seem to be enjoying the number 7 on these bikes for some reason. And then for the next one, we're gonna go ahead and hit up the price. So this, for the price, I'm gonna give it an 8. The reason I give it an 8 is because this was very similar price to the Ingu, cheaper than the Ihora X7 I was just on, and very similar price to the Vitolin before the accessories. So it actually was probably, of the 4 bikes I have right now, this was actually the cheapest. Yes, not by much. Like, I'm talking maybe 50 bucks, but it's well worth it. Very happy with the price I paid. 126 miles ridden on it since February when I got it, and that's only going to go up with the weather getting nicer. So yeah, I don't have any complaints about the features, anything like that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next category. But miscellaneous. Again, miscellaneous, just things that kind of weigh on your mind when it comes to e-bikes that you like, that you don't like. It really looks cool. I know that's part of the wow factor, but it looks pretty cool. It was pretty easy to assemble, and it's just so damn big. You look at these bikes online and you watch a few YouTube videos, and I don't think you really get an idea how big these bikes are, especially this one. Besides the brakes, I don't really have any major complaints. I like the collar. The battery seems to last a while. The pedal assist levels are fantastic. They're adjustable, just like my other e-bikes. And it can be what you want it to be. This bike is very moldable. If you want to use it for just throttle only, no problem. If you want to set it up to where you go fast all the time, no problem. If you just want to go coast like I am right now, pedal assist 2, just 14, 15 miles an hour, it's very moldable. So I really like this. Miscellaneous, we're going to go ahead and rate this. We're going to give it an 8 as well. So if my math is not mistaken, which if it is, I'll make sure I leave a comment. We've got the score for the Vitolin right here. Did you put that up there? Okay. Then I'm gonna put the score for the Ingu E26 right next to it right here. And then of course the Ihora. And then finally the Mach Wheel Tour Plus. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. I'm curious to see. So I'm gonna get home, I'm gonna edit this video. If you guys are watching this, it's at least Saturday. All right, here's when the fun part kicks in. I can now see the scores. I absolutely agree with these scores. Out of a possible score of 50, these are mid-market e-bikes. They're not the most expensive, but they're not the cheapest. I think those scores are pretty good. Looking back, I probably would have changed some of the scores, make a little higher, make a little lower. But overall, I think they averaged out. I would probably say the Ingu and the Mach Wheel are very close to each other as far as being my favorite. The Vitolin is a new bike, so I've just got to get more experience with it, and who knows, we may do something like this again in another 6 months. But this was almost a 30-minute video full of errors, just a pain in the butt. As always, thank you guys for spending your time, helping me waste my time, and enjoying this long freaking video, and I'll see you in the next one.